Hello, and welcome back to Laura's Plans. So, the title of today's video was The Great Planner Experiment for 2022. And some of you are probably wondering what that means. Well, as I was starting to think about what I wanted to do in June, I also started to think about, I have no real clue what has worked or hasn't worked or why. And I've changed around so much over the last 6 months. And planner release season is just right around the corner. And although I know some things work, I also don't want to go through the same experience that I did this year or even last planner launch season where I had my magpie moments. So I'm going to introduce what the Great Experiment is for 2022 and give you a peek at what we're going to start with. So if that's something that interests you, I hope you stick around. And who knows, maybe I'm just insane. All right, so before I get started into the how, I think I need to delve a little deeper into the why. I haven't been active on the channel for several months, and firstly because I've been exceptionally busy with work. And please, I do have to say, if you hear noise, it is my family 2 or 3 levels down. They just don't seem to know how to control their volume button. But I'm just going to go with it. Anyway, over the last few months, I really haven't been posting a lot. And part of that is work, I have to say. I am very, very busy with work. But another part of it was I never had a moment like I've had in the past where I was exceptionally comfortable in what I was using and what I was doing. And to be honest with you, I have tried numerous different planners this year. And for one reason or another, I always switched out of them. And I think part of it is that in some of the planners I tried, I was emulating others. I wanted to do something like I had watched someone else do. And that is cool. It's fun. But I needed to really focus in on my methodology in those planners, and I didn't do that. And so when those planners wouldn't work because I wasn't using my method, I would end up giving up on them. And I have a whole stack. In fact, this is just a small amount of the planners that have come on and off my desk in the last 6 months. And that's crazy. So when I sat down to get ready for June, I realized I wanted to do something different. I am very set in my methodology. I have gone back and looked at all of the different planners that worked for me. And regardless of what type of planner they were, they had certain elements. And so I am going to go back to all of those planners and things that I purchased in 2022 and give it another try and apply to those planners my methodology. I'm not going to try to emulate anyone. I am going to do it my way. So that's the why. Going into this next planner season, I want to know what works and what doesn't, and why it works and why it doesn't, so that when I have those magpie moments, right, like, ooh, shiny, I need to buy it, I can come back to this experience and know, yeah, that's a gorgeous planner. Ooh, that's so cool how she uses that. But it doesn't work with my system. Or Huh, that's plausible. That is one that needs to go on the list. And so that's what we're going to do. We are going to take the next, I think, three months, June, July, and August. If I timed it out right, it's going to be about 3 months. And every 2 weeks, I am going to try a different planner that I have touched within this year to see how it works. So that's a little bit of the how, and that's a little bit of the why. Let's dive in even deeper, shall we? So there are some rules that I am going to put into place in order to make this experiment work. First, I am not allowed to buy anything new. Every single one of the planners or planner styles systems that I'm going to be using are things that I already own and have already touched. If I do anything to them, if I embellish them, if I put them in a cover, if I decorate, if I paint on it, whatever, anything that I use to embellish any single planner or add into any planner has to be something I already own, and it has to come from my stash. The third thing, or that was number 2, was I have to own all of the accoutrement that goes on with a planner in order to keep it. The third rule is I can't cheat. I am keeping 2 planners. Hold on a second. There are 2 planners that I am not going to use in this experiment, and I am not allowed to touch them. In fact, I have employed my husband to be the keeper of the planners. And I think you guys are probably going to be able to guess, but my Hobonichi cousin is one of the planners I am not allowed to touch during this experiment. Nay, we'll come back and fill it all in, I'm sure, after it's all done. The other one I'm not allowed to touch, it's kind of making me sad as well, is my bullet journal. I have been off and on bullet journaling for 6 years, 7 years. I don't even know, you guys. Like, I'd have to go back. I think it was like 2000. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not allowed to use a bullet journal. Why? Because having these around and set up and ready to go, which they're both set up for June, because I didn't know what I was going to do. They're both set up for June. Having these around does not work. If I have these around and something's not going right, instead of trying to fix it, I grab one of these. So my husband has agreed to put my 2 lovelies into lockup where I don't know where they're at and I can't get a hold of them. So my favorite planners are going away for the next few months to see if I can take my methodology and apply them into all of these planners that, I just have to have. And you know, that squirrel moment, and forgive me, but you know, we feel guilty when we do that, right? Like, we see something and it's great and we want to try it and we buy it, and then we feel guilty because it's not the bullet journal, or I'm not doing what I think I should be doing. Like, in my mindset, one of my biggest elements of guilt is, but I should be keeping everything in one planner for the whole year. This is my hobby. Keeping one planner for the whole year? Okay, yeah, I could have one planner for the whole year that I kind of go back and use sometimes and then back plan in or do whatever and kind of keep it as a record for the year. But I can promise you, there is no way on God's green earth that I am going to have one planner for a whole year. It's not going to happen. This is my hobby. I want to touch the planners. I want to play with the planners. But moving into 2023, I want to be fully aware of what style of planner works for me and what doesn't. And so I know these work, so I don't need to experiment with them. So we're going to put them away. So these go back over here on the floor. It When I say I'm not allowed to cheat, I'm not allowed to cheat with those. But I have given some thought to this, and I know that there are going to be certain planners that probably don't have everything encapsulated within them that would allow me to keep all of the information or all of the steps in my method or all of the elements of my methodology and what I like to plan in them. And so I am allowing one auxiliary notebook. This is a small, plain A6 notebook in a cute little, gosh, I love these birds. Marie Lee Crafts from Etsy. This is another one of those. And basically what I have in here is just the Hobonichi grid notebook. I went ahead and set it up for June. You guys can see that. I did go ahead and set it up for June. And basically what I have is the ability to catch any overflow. But it has to go in here. It can't go anywhere else. I can't create a whole nother planner to capture stuff. I can't do any of it. If it doesn't go into the planner I'm using, this is the only place it can go. So this is my, I guess, this is my sidekick to any planner that I'm going to use over the next few months. Okay, so now that we've gone over the rules, I think it's time to talk about the method or process that I'm going to use in order to evaluate whether or not a notebook is working, and B, if I'm able to capture all of the things that I want to capture in it, right? Without having to constantly battle that itch or need to have a secondary planner or a tertiary planner or whatnot. So let's talk about the things that my planners have to be able to do. One, I'm an indexer. I like keeping an index of those important pieces of information. I mean, I put recipes in there, I put memories in there, I do all sorts of things. So, A, there has to be an index. B, I have to be able to future plan. Now, that doesn't mean that I need a Calendex or a future log. It means that I need to at least have all 12 months so that I can go in and write stuff on it. So there's a little flexibility there, but I have to have the ability to future plan. The next thing that is a deal breaker is I need a month on 2-page spread. I am not okay with itty bitty calendar boxes on one page where I barely fit anything in. It needs to have enough space so that I can actually write in, and I have small handwriting, but there are planners out there that are too small for me. So a month on 2-page is a deal breaker if that's not there. The next thing that it has to have is a weekly plan, or it has to have the ability to be combined with something simple in order to have a weekly dashboard. In that weekly, I intend to apply my typical method, which is to log my appointments, events, meetings, to keep track of my menu plan for the week, the menu options, basic weekly trackers, my intentions, because that's a big part of my goal process. And then if I can, the weather, my rise and shine and lights out time, my hydration, and the actual meal that we ate on which day. So those are the have to haves and the want to haves for the weekly section. The next part is where my sidekick may come in, because honestly, some of the planners I have don't have daily sections, or a daily section is in a separate book, and that's okay. I've included some combos into this experiment because I want to see if I can make them work. The daily section has to have enough space to allow me to rapid log as well as do my short form journaling. If there's not enough space, I need to know that. And if I'm feeling cramped and combined and everything's going into the sidekick, well then I probably have a problem. The next thing I love having, but isn't necessarily a deal breaker, is a place for notes and collections. That's a very Bujo thing, and not all planners are Bujos. And I can't make all planners into Bujo, because then why not just use a Bujo? Um, anyway, I digress. Can you tell I'm a little crazy about this? And it also has to have the last piece of it, of my methodology, is I need to be able to take a quick and easy review of the week and the days and take a look at it, make sure everything's gotten done, migrate what hasn't, analyze what's happened, and then reflect upon it and move into the next week. So my methodology is just that. That's my productivity system. That's my planning system. That's what I do no matter what book I'm in. And so as I go through and try all of these notebooks and planners and things, I need to be very cognizant and very focused on how easy is this for me to do? Am I scrunching it in? Do I like it? How does it make me feel? And so I'm going to be doing reflective practices every day on how things are going with these elements that I need and want in my planner. So let's go ahead and talk about what I'm going to use, right? I think that's kind of important. Every planner that I have picked for this list is something that I have already touched and already used this year. And some of them I was in for a couple months, or, several weeks. Others I touched for 1 week and got rid of. And so, yeah, no judging. We've all been there, or at least I've been there often. All right, so the basic schedule is this. The first batch of planners that I'm going to try are like ring and coil bound planners. And I started off with the very first purchase I made last year during planner release season, which was the Moxie Life. So the first 2 weeks of June, the last couple days of May, first 2 weeks of June are going to be in the Moxie Life Vertical Planner. And immediately following this video's edit, I'm going to edit that video and get it up for you so you can see it before Monday. The second planner that we're going to be using from June 13th through June 26th is an A5 rings planner. I've used rings off and on several times in the past because of work and things like that. Haven't used it in a year. Set one up at the beginning of the year, but barely even touched it, and I want to know why. And so we're gonna go back into it, and I need to see what's going on there, because there's no sense me printing off all of that stuff and spending the time to set it up if it's not going to be something I need or want or use. The third one is the one I think I feel the most guilty about, because the Moxie Life didn't work. And so I thought, well, maybe it's the Moxie Life, because the goals and the blah, right? Like, anyway, so I bought an Erin Condren Life Planner Daily Duo set, right? I have the Life Planner, which is the month and weekly, and then I have the dailies. And I've never really actually used them both together, so I'm going to try that, and that's going to be the week of June 27th through the 10th, through July 10th. And I'm actually really excited to try that one together. It's a combo, right? July 11th through the 24th, I'm going to go small, because I don't know what it is, but I love small notebooks. And so I'm going to do the A6 Hobonichi Techo. I have it both in the Avec and the English version. The English version I'm using as kind of a highlight of the day planner, and I'm not going to stop that. I like that. But I'm not going to do it while I'm doing this. I'll go back and do it later. Me? I need to think about that. Stay tuned. I need to think about that. So I'm going to use the Avec version. And I'm going to pair that with a weeks. And the reason I'm doing that is because the A6, there's no way I could use that planner as a planner all by itself, because it doesn't have a weekly dashboard. And so that is one that has to be a combo, and I'm going to pair it with the weeks, because I have never been able to make a week's work for me personally. There's, I don't know. So I'm wondering if the combination of the two would work, and that would be cool because they're so small and compact, and I love it. So we're going to try the A6 Hobo Weeks, the Techo and the Weeks combo, July 11th through the 24th. Then July 25th through August 7th, I'm going to go from the smallest possibility to the largest possibility, which is a B5 dot grid notebook. I bought one. It was like $9 on Amazon. I thought I might like it for the size. I've not used a B5 or like anything kind of that composition size for personal. I want to give it a try, but I'm going to put some parameters around it. It's going to be a minimal setup. So no papers, no stickers. I will use my own doodles or stencils to, embellish, but otherwise it's going to be just a pen, a very basic marker, like a very muted marker tone, and we're gonna try it. I want to see if I like it. August 8th through the 21st, I'm gonna pull out my already set up TN Traveler's Notebook in the wide size. I do not own Traveler's Notebooks in the standard size, and I cannot buy anything for this challenge. So I'm going to go to a TN in the wide size and see what it was or what is going on with that. And part of it is because I'm watching all these videos of people with their TNs, and I'm like, oh, I love TNs. Did I? I can't remember. So we're going to see. And then the very last segment is going to be another combo, and it's because it's how they're sold. It's the Kinbor system. And we're going to take a look at it. This is going to be another kind of minimal system, because if I remember correctly, what I didn't like is stickers. But see, I need to try it with the stickers. Never mind. The Kinbor system is sold in a month-week layout, and then the days book is separate. So that's a 2-book system, and we're going to try that for the last 2 weeks of August. And at the end of that, I will have tried all of the books and styles that I am drawn to. Now, there's lots more out there. And, the 2-book systems that I'm trying, it's because I am still interested in Wonderland 222 type products or the G-Boon products. And those would have to be multiple book systems. So before I go out and buy those for 2023 when they launch, I need to see if I even like it. Truly see if I like it. And this is going to help me do that. So that is the schedule. I may be losing my mind. I don't know. But that's the challenge. That's the experiment. And at the end of the experiment, I will go ahead and compile all the data and let you know what are plausible planners for me to purchase for the 2023 season. And which aren't, which are just busted. They're not going to work for me, so there's no sense spending the money on them. Even though this is my hobby, there's no sense spending the money and not using them in some way. I don't have a problem switching in between planners. I'm going to do that. I need to have one that is the whole year, and if anything, the Hobonichi has taught me that I can do that there. But we'll see. One of these planners might become the one. So the next video, I should tell you what this means for you guys. What it means for you guys is each week you're going to get a setup and flip through, me discussing like where and how I think the initial one will be, where and how I think I'm going to use the planner, and where I'm going to put all those things that I want and need in it. The second week will be just kind of a flip through and review of how the first week went. I do want to record kind of a vlog style of me using the planner each day and put it all together in a compilation for one. And then at the end of each 2 weeks, you're going to get a review video and then a video with the setup of the next system that I'm moving into. So for every 2 week segment, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos every 2 weeks to document this. And part of me is using this so that when I get the itch, I can go back and say, oh, you know what? I've already tried that and it didn't really work, or I already tried that and it did. So that's what it's going to mean for you guys. You're going to get to follow along as I go through this insane process. And trust me, I know I'm insane. I will tell you, there's a couple things that are non-negotiables. I have to be able to keep a hold of those important events and appointments and notes and things. And like my shopping list goes in here because I just take my phone and tap, 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 and it's all gone. So I will be utilizing my phone and my Outlook calendar, which syncs with everyone's calendar. The other thing that is not going away and is not negotiable, sorry, I have an itch on my leg, is my work system. And my work system is simple. It's my Hobonichi Weeks, which is really weird that it works so well for work. But I think the reason it works so well for work is I always have a project notebook, which is just a composition style scratch, write it all down, do whatever, because all of our meeting notes, all of that stuff has to be put in a digital format. This notebook is just for brainstorming, and it generally goes in the trash once it's empty or once it's full. But that can't go anywhere because this pays bills, and I'm not messing with what pays the bills because this works, and I don't lose things in the system. And so that's staying. So yeah, my work planner has to stay. It has to be what it is, and it's going to. And I will still utilize my phone because it syncs up with all of my work planners, home planners, family planners, not planners, calendars. Syncs up with everybody's calendar. So I know everything that's going on all the time, and that's really important to me. So anyway, my daughter's texting me. So that's it. That is the Great Planner Challenge for 2022. Let me know what you think. Do you want to do this with me? If you want to do this with me, I would love that. Go through the stack of planners that you have purchased this year and make a schedule for yourself and see if you can do it. Big thing is you have to identify your methodology. But if you are going to do it with me, I would love for you to leave me a note in the comments below because I want to know how things are going. But yeah, let's experiment. Let's have fun. So I think that's it. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you think I have lost my ever-loving mind, which I think I have, but I'm blaming it on menopause. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe so you can watch this train wreck as it happens, or this great success story as it happens. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm excited. And I look forward to it. So I hope you guys all have a great Memorial Weekend. I'm planning to take some much needed time off, at least a day and a half. And I don't know. We're going to have fun. So thank you all for being here. And as always, I will see you next time.